Hey there, you may have clicked on this video because it's after Easter and you're wondering what to do with all of those colorful, delightful, spring-infused Easter eggs, or you are planning a holiday party and need an appetizer. Let's be real. The recipe I have for you today ticks all the boxes of using up some leftovers if you have them, something affordable, something delicious, and always a crowd pleaser. I'm talking deviled eggs. Now, if you like this video, hit like and subscribe and comment down below and let me know if you tried this recipe. We're hoping that you will come on back and join us every week in our kitchen and help us grow our community here on YouTube. If you want a copy of this recipe and are down to try it, check the description box down below. The recipe will be linked there for you. All right, let's get into the kitchen. Let's get started. Let's make some deviled eggs. What I love about this recipe in particular is that I'm using leftover dyed Easter eggs. I've naturally dyed these eggs. If you want to know how to do this, check out a link to our April Substack. It'll be linked in the description box. Since our main component is already cooked, all we have to do is prepare the rest of our ingredients. To do that, we're going to pickle some red Fresno chilies. Now, we're going to do a quick pickle on these. So to do that, we're going to take all of our sliced peppers and we'll add them to a saucepan with apple cider vinegar, water, sugar and salt, and we'll let that come to a boil. Wait until the sugar and the salt have fully dissolved in the liquid, and then we'll cut the heat and just let them mellow out and pickle at their leisure. The pickled peppers will last in your refrigerator for about a month or two. Just make sure that it's properly labeled, but I'll tell you this much. Just like a pickled jalapeno, these can be put on absolutely anything and they're not gonna last that long in your refrigerator. On high heat, we're going to add our vinegar, an equal part of water, our sugar, as well as our salt, and finally our sliced peppers. What I love about using peppers in this recipe, and specifically using pickled peppers, it gives such a nice sharpness to the final dish. It really helps to cut through that richness, that creaminess from the egg yolk, the butter, the Dijon that's in the egg yolk filling. For this recipe, I'm using leftover Easter eggs. As I previously mentioned, a great way to make sure that you don't get any shells is just to crack your egg either under running cold water or on a cutting board, roll it just a little bit to help break up the eggshell. And then what I'm doing is I'm just using a bowl of cold water to peel my eggs into. If you're starting this recipe from scratch and aren't using pre-cooked eggs, you'll want to cook your eggs until hard boiled. I always tend to bring a pot up to boil, heavily salt it, and then slowly drop my eggs in using a spider after the water has already been boiling. Lastly, with your hard-boiled eggs, just make sure that when you're pulling them from the hot water, put them right into an ice bath. That'll shock them out of cooking and it will help the membrane that coats the shell separate from the cooked egg white, making it much easier to peel. Next up for our deviled eggs, we're going to separate our eggs and our yolks. For the egg yolks, we're just gonna pop them into a mixing bowl. For our egg yolk mixture, we're going to combine some melted butter with a little bit of Dijon mustard and salt and pepper to taste. We're gonna give this a mix and get everything nice and incorporated. I find the best way to get my egg yolk mixture to come together is to smash the egg yolks with the side of my spatula, and that allows the egg yolk to break apart to make it easier to mix everything together. Now, before you transfer this mixture into a piping bag, make sure to taste it, so that way you don't have to adjust seasoning after the egg yolk mixture is already piped into your egg white cavities. I've gone ahead and transferred our egg yolk mixture into a piping bag. And just a rule of thumb, always put pressure from the top down in a piping bag, never close to the nozzle or in the middle. It'll just make piping so much easier that way. And if you don't have a piping bag, just use a Ziploc. Just make sure that you scrape all of the filling into one corner, snip the corner, and then work quickly. Our eggs are filled, let's garnish them, and then we can eat them. So for garnish today, I have our pickled red peppers that we made at the top of this video, and then I have some minced crispy bacon. I'm going to go ahead and start garnishing with a little bit of bacon on each deviled egg. All of our eggs have our bacon on them, yummy. And to cap this all off, a slice of pepper. Our eggs are garnished, they're ready. It's time for the taste test. There's so much flavor packed into these little deviled guys. This is so yummy. I love how too, like, because they're so small, you can just keep eating them. There you have it, a wonderful treat, good any time of the year. I'm telling you, you definitely need to try this recipe. It is going to make you the star of the show. And anytime you go to a family gathering, going over for a potluck, or have an invitation from friends, they're going to request that you bring this recipe too. Check out the recipe linked down below, like and subscribe, turn that notification bell on, and we'll see you in our next video. Have a great rest of your day. Bye!